Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda 1080 Snowboarding Princess. In this part, guess what? There's a lot of side shenanigans before we get to the next dungeon. Yay.
Hooray!
As you do in Zelda games.
Although it's actually like less than half of a part this time, so, you know, we're getting to the point where we run out of extra crap to do and we're just getting to the end of the game.
It's only so much world.
Oh,
Well, how many dungeons are left after
Three? Wait.
We're past the
I'm,
majority.
I'm counting Palace of Twilight.
4, technically, then. If you count...
Well, if you really want to count Hyrule Castle.
Well, yeah, that's a cool area and stuff. It has a map. It has a compass. Alright, it counts. Why are you... What's wrong with that dungeon? There's nothing wrong with that dungeon. That's like one of the coolest ones in the game.
I didn't like it.
Alright, whatever. We'll continue this discussion 20 parts from
Okay.
now.
Oh boy, block pushing.
Everybody's favorite part of the game. Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah, I've actually never, I never 100% at this game, so I'm like actually seeing a lot of this for the first time.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm glad they brought this back.
Yeah, I love the 8-bit Ice Cave music. It's just one of my favorite tracks in Pokemon, so I'm glad they brought it back for Zelda 2, you know?
Yeah.
You should have inserted Tails music here.
You know what? I was seriously thinking about it, but I don't know if there's any, like, particularly infamous dungeon for block pushing.
There
in
definitely
Tales.
is.
Like,
Isn't
just
that
do
every dungeon?
I say at that point, just do Symphonia.
yeah, but, like, is one, like, well known for being the worst block pushing mess in the history of block pushing? Or is they...
I would honestly just use anything from Symphonia and people would understand
Yeah.
where you're going from.
I know that there was like one area in Vesperia that was entirely block pushing. It was essentially like one... I don't remember if it had its own music or whatever, but there was definitely one area that was just like the entire thing was block pushing, and I hated it.
I remember I was playing... I think Tales of the Abyss, for the most part, doesn't have a lot of block pushing, but there's like a side quest where you can like clean up a warehouse or whatever, and then you walk in and then you just see all the boxes and you're like, no! And then, like
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
that's
remember if
actually
it's-
what was in Vesperia as well. I think. It's been a while. It's been a little bit since
Yeah,
I played.
I played Tales of the Abyss in like 2013 or 14, I think. Wait. When did Bravely Default
Did
come
I
out?
even play it all?
I think I played it before I played Bravely Default, so I think that means it was 2013. I'm just gonna guess.
Midna, help!
Midna, you have
Blocks
a
are not my
gigantic
forte, Link.
hand in your head. Please, just pick them up.
Okay, Midna, how about this? How about you can like shift through walls and stuff, right? How about you stand on the switch, and then I walk through the door? Or wait,
Maybe
why
she's
don't
not
you just
heavy
go through
enough.
the door? Herm.
Pretty sure the ball and chain weighs like 50,000 tons. Just put it on top of the switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Iron Boots.
Yeah, or the iron boots. There you go.
Now we only need to solve 2 more block pushing gauntlets to get a full heart.
Congratulations, Link. Now, excuse me while I do a block puzzing puzzle in order to give you your mail.
Link just spawns behind a gate. What?
What's happening?
They give you so much mail in this game. You can't walk into Hyrule Castle Town without getting a letter at some point.
Yeah, well, even back in the olden days, we had our spam folders, so...
Well, Link, no, because this is the olden days of actual mail, Link just has like a cardboard dummy of him, like a standee, to function as a spam folder.
Hey, Link! You know what? It would be very, very hard to tell the difference because they both don't talk or emote, so...
Agatha, I think you sent me pages from your dream journal by accident. Was that meant to be a letter to me about something I should care about?
Well, Christ.
New postal address, suit this.
You know, one of the addresses nearby my house is 404, and I see it every time I turn into my neighborhood, and I'm like, wow, that's... The mail must get lost on the way there all the time.
Little notes in there just saying, mailbox not found.
It's literally right there. So anyway, we could go try to find the next dungeon, but I think snowboarding is more important, probably. Right? Huh? Right? Alright. No.
All the best
Okay.
RPGs
Well, I guess
involve
if you're
mandatory
the-
snowboarding. That's why Final Fantasy VII is a classic.
The hero of extreme.
I like how even in this timeline you get a free saddle with your Yeti.
It's also one of the saddles.
I like how the Yeti
But it
has
comes with
to,
a saddle.
snowboard in the crane kickstands because he can't fit.
So anyway, the first race with Yeto, I think, is the male one. It's really easy if you don't try to do anything. Why did I not ram into the wall there? All right. If you don't try to do anything fancy, it's actually
Like
really,
what you're doing now.
Yeah, it's actually. Hold on, drunk link, hold on, wait.
Stop.
Oh,
There we go. Okay,
He's
so if
trying
you
real
just
hard.
go the main path, it's actually pretty easy because he's pretty slow. It's just if you're trying to do fast strats and screw up that he'll be able to catch up with you. So, it's pretty easy that way. But, here I am trying to show off anyhow. Get
fast
those
strats, and
rupees
you
I
got
actually
rupees.
don't need. Oh yeah, I should mention that if you do the Wolf Link amiibo stuff, I think you can double your rupee count as well.
Oh, he
okay,
just ran you over.
Oh, he does run. Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is basically the Goron race. Isn't it?
Yeah.
The horse race.
Yeah, it's just a little mini game. Every Zelda has these. Is there a race mini game in Skyward Sword on the bird?
Not a race,
I
I
want
don't
to say
think.
There's a
well,
target.
yeah, it's
thing.
not really a race, but the opening segment
Yeah.
where you have to.
It's more like tag.
Yeah.
I am surprised that given how big of a thing the bird riding is in that game, they didn't make a race version of it.
No, thank God it didn't.
Why?
I
The
feel like
controls very stiffly.
Okay, I
I
don't
don't like
even
the
mind
bird.
the bird that much in Skyward Sword, but I feel like it feels too slow to make a race out of it. That's probably why they went with tag. Because, like, everything's all big and open, and it doesn't really feel like you're moving all that quickly as opposed to, like, going along the ground
No, it's-
and smashing into walls.
That's the entire point of the warp rocks. They put that there because, like, yeah, guys, we're going too slow.
Oh.
Link really likes the
The
bottle
worst
of that cliff.
This just makes me feel a lot better.
Now, I'm so bad at this minigame, you have no idea.
That makes me feel a
I
lot
don't know what
better.
the hell
I
you're doing there.
apologize.
Were you having a heart attack?
I don't know. This minigame, I'm terrible at it because the problem is that once you are headed towards a wall, you can't. The turns are so wide, you really can't control yourself.
You
very
just
much.
gotta accept your fate.
Yeah, pretty much. So, especially in narrow segments, there's not a lot of room for error. And even then, on my successful attempt, she almost beat me.
Yeah.
So,
It's like if you're like hugging up against a wall, you can't turn away from the wall enough to turn away from the wall. The wall has to turn away from you. So, yeah.
And I don't think geometry is willing to shift to my bidding. So,
oh, they actually let me warp over here. Okay, I was.
Well, I think technically their backs are turned.
That's true, but I remember. I think I was. This must have been off cam, but I was trying to warp away from them. I think it was to unlock the second race, and they was very picky about where it would and wouldn't let me.
What,
warp
Min
after.
is just like, no, what, you stupid? They're gonna burn you for a witch if you teleport in front of them.
yeah, but would the Yetis care though?
I mean, we can warp right now if you want, but, when they tie you to that stake, I'm just gonna sit in the audience and laugh.
I've gotten literally everything I came in this area. I'm never coming back here. Who are the Yetis going to tell?
So I just noticed that Russell, even though he's supposed to be like a master swordsman, is carrying a chef's knife on his back instead of a sword.
Well,
Which
Is
I
it?
mean, we did take his sword.
Oh.
So,
You know,
so
I've got the Master Sword now. I could just give yours back. If you want it. I mean...
yeah, but was he just out of knives and that was the only one left in his house? It's just like, honey.
Hey, desperate times call for desperate.
He's been watching
times.
too many Midnight Halloween serial killer horrors. Okay. What the hell?
Here, Link. This is
No,
the...
Skull
Oh God! You
chicken.
trained one of these things?
Why aren't you fighting Ganon?
Yeah, it comes flying down with its own little Hylian shield and Master Sword.
We spent how long trying to get the gold chocobo?
This is the most powerful being in the Zelda universe, and I refuse to believe otherwise.
The embodiment of the goddesses themselves.
So is it a giant escort mission?
Well, no, not
no,
really. You just...
You use it to float.
You use it to
basically.
get to the areas that Midna needed you to teleport to. Although I suppose Midna could just teleport you to them again as the wolf.
Nothing's really stopping her.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? If you just were the wolf right in front of him and just didn't talk.
What do you notice?
Yeah, well, I mean, he'd notice the wolf being there, but like there's no reason that you wouldn't be able to do the jump thing that you did as the wolf to get over here anyway, you know. The golden chicken is completely irrelevant. And then we never see it again because we just dropped it off.
we might just get Knights of the Round in this cave. You never know.
Or at least mime.
Mime,
Or fight
mime
Ozma.
would be good. Mime is broken.
I know, that's why it's good.
Didn't I already deal with you once?
It's round
You already
2.
know I'm worthy. I have the sword. You know I'm worthy.
Well, you see, I think at this point he's just being a dick.
As Skull Kids are off to do,
Oh,
yes.
Skull Kid's being a Skull Kid, you say?
Skull Kid just wants to play. Leave him alone.
Yeah, but
Okay, but if he wants to start playing with actual like live ammunition and weaponry,
That's
then
just
you know,
his style.
that's a
It's
problem.
those
fine.
dolls are possessed. All right. It's like he got 6 Chuckies from Child's Play and made him his bitch. Pretty much.
Which one is voiced by Mark Hamill?
All of them.
He's doing a slightly different pitch on each one, so it sounds like they're
It's
different
really
actors,
weird
but it's
to
all
say
Mark
that.
Hamill.
Because Mark Hamill, he's voicing Chucky in the new one, right?
Yes.
You know, it's really weird to say that he's kind of has. I feel he has big shoes to fill because I can't picture anybody else with Brad Dourif as the voice of Chucky.
Yeah, but if there's someone who
Like,
could fill
it's-
those shoes, I would think Hamill would be capable.
Yeah. I agree. It's just that it's weird that I'm saying it to Mark Hamill.
All right, Mark Hamill. You might think you're a big shot. Like, what have you worked on? Star Wars? Pshaw. This is Child's Play. All right. I mean,
Yeah. yeah.
No,
I mean,
that's the name of the series.
Well, he was in the Batman animated series, and one of the villains does have a living mannequin thing. Or at least he thinks he has one. I'm not sure which it is, but that's not the
There's
villain.
also a
Mark
baby
Hamill
doll.
voiced.
you see, now I'm also imagining Mark Hamill voicing Chucky as in Chucky from Rugrats. So...
You could pull that off too.
Everyone's made that joke before, though.
He could pull that off too.
Probably.
You see, I was going to make a Chucky quote or whatever, but it's been so long I don't know what his voice sounds like.
Oh, well, you know,
It's
just
super
imagine all of
nasally.
Chucky's dialogue with the Joker voice, and that won't exactly make it something you can be confident in, but it's funny to think about.
Yeah, but if Chucky is the Joker, then which one's Harley Quinn and which one's Batman?
Well, Harley
Because I don't
Quinn-
know if Tommy...
Well, Jennifer Tilly.
I mean, Harley Quinn is the obvious answer.
Well, yeah, but
Angelica.
which of the Rugrats babies is Harley Quinn? If Chucky is...
Angelica.
Angelica.
Oh,
That's why I said it was obvious. She even has the same haircut. Come on.
okay. So I dislike the second...
You stabbed me in the face.
This game isn't fun anymore.
Man, I was just dicking around. You're using a sword.
It's like, with fire, you're going to get burned.
Whew. Okay.
Look so painful.
Get away from me.
I mean, you literally just swipe him across the face with it.
Yeah, but that takes too much work.
I am a little like not on board with Twilight Princess's a tendency to make you do the same minigame twice to get all the rewards.
Yeah, it's basically a harder version of the story quest.
Well, the thing is that normally what Twilight Princess likes to do is there's a mandatory version and then an optional version for you to do for just like extra goodies and stuff, like a heart piece or the bomb bag or whatever.
I know. It's just like, you know.
This is doing it twice for progression, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't have... Well, I mean, I might have minded, but it wouldn't have been so bad if chasing the Skull Kid again was an upgrade for something. Like, I don't know what they would have done, but, you know.
I don't know, like a stronger bow or something, I don't know.
Yeah, a third iron boot.
What, does he just put the last one on his hat?
Yeah. Whereas it has a helmet.
Well, I think what could have been a interesting thing to add for a minigame like that is, say, because it's the same place as Ocarina of Time, like have Ocarina's colors. For do like an unlockable tunic or something.
Oh, so you have like the white shirt underneath and stuff like that?
That'd
Yeah.
be kind of
That
cool.
would have been
And
cool,
like a
and it
brighter
has
green.
like double defense or something like that. That would have been neat.
Yeah.
Basically what Breath of the Wild did before Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that would have... You know what? That would have been cool. You know, I mean, again, we're just spitballing here, but I don't know. I don't mind doing this kind of thing once it's...
Yeah.
The problem here is that I find it's harder to figure out his pattern the second time for some reason.
Well,
Like,
the other problem is that this just feels like padding.
Yeah.
although it gets worse, though.
It definitely does, but
I forgot how bad it was trying to get to City of the Sky.
the stupid letters. Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
you'll...
Probably because you wiped it from your
Probably.
memory.
You see, I did too.
Same
Like,
with
I
Speak of
remember
This
the
again.
pacing for the second half of the game being great, and I forgot. Like, there's like a good hour-long chunk of wandering back and forth.
Well, the first time
that
you play, you're not quite as prone to find that kind of thing boring. It's on replays that this kind of padding really starts to
No, I
feel.
found it boring the first time too.
Oh yeah, well I
In
mean, not as
hindsight,
prone
you
doesn't
just-
mean you won't. It just means.
I think the first time I played, I didn't even like do 100%, so I skipped over a lot of these like secondary mini games. I just like played through the game straight the first time I ever played Twilight Princess. So,
I think I got I'm just the kind of person who likes to explore as much of the world as possible. So I think I got like all of the heart pieces because there's a fortune teller who will tell you where the ones you're missing are. So god damn it.
I feel like I've gotten more like that as I've gotten older, but when I was a kid, I was definitely one of those people that just did the straight shot through the story and did not even bother with any of the collectibles or anything.
Yeah, it's really rare that I 100% a 3D Zelda game.
Well, mostly it depends because something like Wind Waker I was more inclined to do because it was easier to do. Meanwhile, in something like this where there's a lot more tedium.
Here I
And
am
if-
as a child, and I'm like, this game sucks. It's too confusing. Goodbye.
Well, it's you know, it's it depends on you. It depends on your frame of mind, and that's why I say you're more prone to find this kind of thing boring your second time through.
That's
Is
fair.
because if you are the kind of person who likes and who enjoys exploring a world and finding all the little new things, even if that means, you know, backtracking through familiar territory a lot of the time, then a game like this is not going to bother you so much the first time through because that sense of discovery is keeping you going. And it's the same kind of thing. Like a lot of people don't necessarily mind the big empty sandbox that people complain about in a game like Skyrim because they're held into the experience by the suspense of when and where the next new thing is going to pop up along the way.
That's me.
And that enhances their ability to enjoy just exploring the environment too.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like a lot of Zelda games people don't really talk about 100%ing except for Majora's Mask. It's really the only one where people is like, oh yeah, you got to get all the masks.
Well,
yeah,
I
and that's
mean-
because it's a different approach to 100% in that game.
Yeah, Majora's Mask was also a lot more rewarding to go for 100% because so many of the
Yeah.
characters that you did it with had like backstories and like you were discovering things about them themselves in the
Yeah.
area. It had a little bit more depth and it had a different feeling.
I guess it is a little bit different. In order to get the mask, you have to do this person's mini game or storyline, as opposed to you bomb a wall and then there's a room in there with a block pushing puzzle. You
Yeah.
know? It's a little bit more organic and I wouldn't say structured, but like, it's I think more relatable. I guess is the thing. It is definitely a different feeling. Where are you, you stupid wooden?
I think
piece
I'm
of
more
crap?
like
You stabbed him in the face earlier.
He's
I would
hiding now.
Stay the hell away from you too.
I think
yeah.
a more like relevant comparison to Skyrim and the Zeldaverse would probably be Breath of the Wild, because that is really expansive and does have like a lot of just, I don't want to say nothing because it's not nothing and I love Breath of the Wild, but it's a lot more nooks and crannies where you can find secrets and crap.
Busy. It's what I call busy work.
Well, I disagree, because it's only busy work if you're trying to go for all of it, Like, yes, getting 900 Korok seeds is busy work, but if you're just exploring the game normally, every time you find a Korok seed, you're like, oh, nice, a Korok seed.
Yeah.
It's only when you're getting to
You're
the
not stopping to
mentality-
look. You're not stopping to look at every tree to try to see if there's a puzzle there or something.
That's a problem I noticed that a lot of people have with Mario Odyssey, too, is that a lot of people say something like, oh, trying to find all the moons in Mario Odyssey is annoying. And I'm
Yeah.
You
like,
beat the game with a little over 200 of them.
I
it's
just grabbed every moon that I happened to come across while exploring the levels, and I had way more than enough by the end. So
Well, no, I still think there's merit to complaining about how fully completing the game.
yeah, sure, there's merit, but not as much merit as people throw into it while they're complaining.
Oh no. Like if you go into the argument that to fully understand the game, or like the only way to play the game is to get everything,
That's projecting your own playstyle onto
Yes.
other people.
Absolutely.
And, it's good to acknowledge that kind of thing. If the act of 100%ing it is tedious, then if you're the kind of player who likes to 100% a game and doesn't find it satisfying unless you can or want to, then that's probably a game you should avoid, or at least or at least think twice about your playstyle as applied to that game.
so are you saying that different games can satisfy different players' needs?
Of course, I'm saying that. I've been saying that for years. Come on.
I don't understand, though.
Is my mic not working?
In that sense, 100%ing is itself like difficulty when it comes to player taste, and I don't think that aspect of a game should be tailored to everyone either. But on the other hand, it's worth mentioning as a design criticism, as something that should be brought up. Just to say, okay, this is the kind of player who's probably not going to enjoy this part of the game, and maybe I'm one of those players, but on the other hand, you can't discount the rest of the game just because 100%ing it is a little bit tedious. That would make let's see.
Most games.
Most
not
games,
good.
yeah.
Honestly.
Like I would absolutely hate Assassin's Creed 2 if that were the case. Those fucking feathers.